Hey, so this is the Brothers Analog Gainstage from Chase Bliss. It is a lot of fuzziness and driviness and boostiness all together in one pedal, and it does a lot more than we can show. So here's the quick overview of what you're looking at if you're not familiar with Chase Bliss things. So you got input and output here. There's jacks for expression and MIDI, 9-volt power. There's a ton of little dip switches on the back that do things and that we're not going to get into. There's a lot of good things that you can do there, but we're not going to cover that just because this is already not going to be 5 minutes. So anyway, so you basically have two different sides. You've got an A side and a B side to this pedal. And you've got gain and tone for A, gain and tone for B. And then you've got a master overall volume and then a mix knob. And so what that does is right here in the center, there's a kind of three-way toggle switch, and so you can either set both sides to feed one another, like you can put A to feed B, B to feed A, or them both to run next to each other at the same time. So it opens up a ton of possibilities for combinations because there's boost, drive, and fuzz of different flavors on each side. So you can combine any two with each other, feeding each other, or next to each other. So there's a ton. We probably won't hit everything, but I just want to give you an idea of what it sounds like. So that's the plan, and that's what we're going to do. So Chase Bliss Brothers. This is the Veritas Portlander into a Jackson Ampworks Fullerton. Clean sounds like this. So let's start with drive. Let's start with drive A. Drive B. How about drive A into drive B? Drive B alone. Drive A feeding drive B. This is drive B feeding drive A. Then let's put both of them right next to each other running in parallel. The way I heard this explained one time was that if you, obviously one side feeding the other is like a preference thing. Whatever flavor you want feeding the other flavor will get you a lot of different, flavors. But that if you kind of want something to clear up or to get a fine-tuned sound, that you would put two things next to each other. And you'll see that later when we start to put like a fuzz next to a boost, for example, then you get kind of this parallel, clean kind of boost thing happening right alongside the fuzz. And so you get to keep note articulation, but you could be really fuzzy, for example. Or the same with a drive, like you could crank up a drive a ton and do that. So that's a possibility. I should mention that there's, via MIDI, there's up to 128 presets you can save on this, which is crazy. There's two available right away with this switch, so we're in manual mode. To the left is preset A, to the right is preset B, and then in the middle is just where we do whatever we want. So that's there's your manual mode and left and right available right on the front via that switch there, but then you can get a whole lot more via MIDI, which is just crazy. So let's see. I don't think we'll really sweep a whole lot in these just for time's sake, but really only care about all the way up anyway, right? Might as well feed each other that way then, right? Borderline fuzzy. That was A feeding B. Borderline fuzzier with B feeding A. So there you go. All right, let's move to the boost on both sides. So this is A boost. Which I am quite fond of. B boost. Let's go A boost into B. Run them next to each other. Forgot to give us the full blast here. That's as dirty as boost A can get. As dirty as boost B can get. Okay, now let's go to fuzz. We'll go back to noon for a second. Fuzz A. A lot darker and spittier, and doesn't even brighten up a ton. Pardon me. So let's keep the drive up just to make things a little more interesting. Maybe do that. Excuse me. So let's quickly just try and see some other combinations. Let's have boost B, drive, fuzz A. So you got fuzz A right here. Shove boost B into it. Throw drive A into it. Let's run those two next to each other. So yeah, having a drive right in parallel with a fuzz can really make it clean up a lot more than you would think. Boost parallel with fuzz. Just dime the fuzz and it'll still be. I should say also that to make things even crazier, that when they're running in a stack, like if you're feeding A into B, you can control with this middle knob right here. You can kind of control how much of one side you're getting. So if you want more fuzz when A is going into B. So yeah, it's kind of crazy there. And then it's like a overall mix knob, I think, with the parallel. It's maybe I got it backwards. With the parallel, it's kind of how much of either side you get. So if we got fuzz and boost, yep, to the right's all the way boost, left is all the way fuzz, and then in the middle is the blend between the two of them. So you can kind of see how that works too. Let's try a couple other things. Let's run both drives in parallel. boost and drive next to each other. About fuzz here and boost here. You remember how gross this one was. So that's all this side. Then we'll blend in some boost. Get more and more attack coming through. Let's put the drive next to it. Let's see, what haven't we hit yet? I mean, there's a million things we haven't hit yet, but anyway, I think you pretty much get the idea of what all can happen with this crazy thing, because it's a ton, and you can get a lot of different combinations out of it, especially with one feeding the other and all that stuff. So anyway, that is the Brothers Analog Gainstage, a very, very brief flyover of kind of what it can do and the whole idea of it, and get you at least some sounds out of it. So not 5 minutes, but you try and make a useful video out of this in 5 minutes. I dare you. Anyway, link to the Brothers will be in the description below. And feel free to subscribe if you'd like to spend 5 minutes, give or take with some more gear. Bye-bye.